Please write for the bride. On behalf of Susan and Graham and of the Heimberg and Cheng families, I'd like to welcome everyone here today. It means the world for Susan and Graham to have you all here and share the most happy of the days. My name is Juan, and I've known Susan and Graham for 12 years, first independently and then as a couple. I am very honored to be officiating today this ceremony in front of you all. I also truly can't think of a better venue to celebrate this occasion than this house, which Graham's parents, Rick and Karen, built and where Graham and his siblings grew up. It's also where Graham and Susan lived through the whole COVID pandemic. And some of you might not know this, but it's actually the house where they have lived together for the longest. It's not Boston or San Francisco. It is in here in Santa Barbara. Now, I wanted to say, throughout this wedding, you will all notice a number of elements which are intrinsic to the tradition of Jewish weddings. I will try my best to explain some of them to you. The first one of them is the huppah. The huppah is a canopy that the couple will stand in during the ceremony. It is a symbol of the household that they will share and build together. The four walls are open because you all are invited inside, and everyone is welcome of those that Susan and Graham care about. The couple is not alone in this task of building a home and a life together, but they receive support from their beloved ones, which were symbolized by the people that carried the huppah in today. The top of the huppah we have today is decorated with a talit, a traditional Jewish prayer shawl. And it is a very special huppah because the talit is the one that Graham's grandmother, Muriel, made for his bar mitzvah. You know, just a few years ago. Anyway, most of you here know that Graham and Susan met during their PhD studies in San Francisco. Those years were hard and challenging, but they had a very important silver lining. The days and the long nights in the lab created a bond between them that slowly turned into friendship and eventually love. Now they're both standing here in front of us, Dr. Heimberg and Dr. Chen, ready to affirm this bond between them formally and publicly and join their lives in marriage. There are many qualities of Graham and Susan I could share with you today, but there's one that always stands out to me the most, and it is their relentless perseverance and tenacity to create a true and loving relationship. Even at the beginning, I will always remember the many conversations that Graham and I had where he would never show a sliver of doubt about it. They wanted to completely understand each other. They wanted to know how each other felt, how to make each other feel better, and they wanted to know how to change themselves to be a better person for the other. They would establish routines to check in on each other and to make sure everything was going well, and always double check their own feelings to make sure they are true and respectful. All of this because they knew that they loved each other and they wanted to get together the right way. I remember being blown away by these insights, and I shamelessly must admit using what I learned from them in my own relationship and my marriage. And that's a lot to say. I also remember the day that Susan got a call with a job offer from a consulting firm in Boston. That was a huge professional step for Susan, but it also meant that she could finally join Graham in the East Coast and they could live together. The joy in their faces that day was unforgettable and also made me realize one very important thing that many of us here know. And it is that instead of having to choose between their own personal growth and their relationship, Graham and Susan have always worked tirelessly until they can get the best of both worlds. They have changed over these years, but they have done so in a way that allows them to grow constantly and successful as healthy individuals, while at the same time evolving together towards each other to become the perfect partners in life. They say the most remarkable moment in life is when you meet the person that makes you feel complete. And I am sure that was true for Graham and Susan as well. They complement each other in their energetic, witty, optimistic take on life. Every moment between them, no matter how small or mundane, quickly turns into an adventure that they thoroughly enjoy and makes those of us that get to be with them feel lucky that we get to share these moments. But it is the mature, insightful, hard-working approach to the relationship and love that makes me and everyone here today know that this love is forever. We all wish you good luck in the challenges ahead. And once again, on behalf of everyone here, I thank you for letting us be part of your lives. Thank you. It's okay. Please, I kept it together. So let's not ruin that. Well, the next step. Now, Graham and Susan requested that some of the people most important to them share some words and blessings. They will be called and they will come here and stand the mic and read their blessings. First, it will be Graham's parents, Karen and Rick.
May you live surrounded with love. May your admiration, appreciation, and understanding of each other foster a love that is passionate, tranquil, and real. May this love between you be strong and enduring and bring peace into your life. May your marriage enrich the lives of everyone around you.
May you live in a loving home filled with warmth, humor, and compassion, and work hard to build a relationship of substance and quality. May you create a family together that honors traditions, old and new. May you teach your children to have equal respect for themselves and others while instilling in them the value of learning and tikkun olam, making the world a better place.
May you be best friends. May the honesty of your communication build a foundation of understanding, connection, and trust. May your sense of humor and playful spirits continue to enliven your relationship. May you respect each other's individual personality and perspective and give each other the room to grow while fulfilling your dreams.
May you be blessed with wisdom and continually learn from one another, respecting each other's personalities and philosophy. May you understand that neither of you is perfect, both subject to human frailties, and may your love strengthen when you fall short of each other's expectations. Together, may you grow, deepening your knowledge and understanding of each other as you journey through life.
May your life be filled with the art and beauty of this world. May your creative aspirations experiences find expression, inspire, and bring you joy and fulfillment. May you find happiness together in adventures big and small, and find something to celebrate each and every day of your life.
May you be surrounded by community. May you always be aware that you are an essential part of a circle of family and friends such as you have here. May there always be within this group love, trust, support, and laughter. And may there be many future occasions for rejoicing in their company.
May you enjoy good health. May life bring you the wholeness of mind, body, and spirit. May you keep each other well balanced and grounded and live long, that you may share many happy years together.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Rick. Next, we will have Susan's parents, Jenny and James. You can come over to the mic.
Dear Susan. Dear Susan, when I see you and your husband hand in hand into this wonderful wedding ceremony, I'm extremely joyful and excited.
Your Happy New Year means a beautiful beginning for both our family, but also require responsibility to each other, dependent on each other, and mutual respect and love. Susan and Graham keep forging ahead together and work hard to build up your marriage and family step by step.
You both have a find down ideal person in each other. We hope you cherish this happiness. As your
As the
parents, we sincerely bless you forever. 新婚快乐，早生贵子。
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, James. And last but not least, we will have Susan's sister, Angie.
阿姐、阿 Graham，我祝你哋兩個百年好合，永結同心，幸福美滿。I wish you 100 years of harmony, to be united in your mind and heart, and to have happiness throughout your marriage. I know you two are great for each other. 新婚快樂！
Thank you, Angela. Okay, now we will proceed to the signing of the ketubah. In the Jewish tradition, the ketubah is a pretty short document that essentially works as a marriage contract. It outlines the rights and responsibilities of the couple for each other. The ketubah we're using today is a very special one, and hopefully I can show it to you. It was handcrafted by Rowena, Susan and Graham's sister-in-law. And it contains words that Graham and Susan wrote themselves. We are not going to read them all today, but they include a reference to acorns, which are cheerful memories that they store and collect for the case that they will need to rely on them in the future. Hence the squirrels that you will notice in here. Now, today, we will have some people sign them, But Graham and Susan strongly expressed their will that all of you here will get to sign the ketubah at the end of the celebration. That is very nice. A bit of a logistical nightmare, so we will see at the end. For now, we're going to have both Graham and Susan please come over and sign the ketubah. And we will also have Adam and Haley, who are friends of Graham and Susan from here in Santa Barbara, and also Jenny, Susan's mom.
First start with the kids.
Thank you all. Just come here. Well, in addition to the writing the ketubah, the couple has already prepared their own vows that they will share with each other in front of all you. I will actually bring the mic here. And now, you're okay now holding hands. Did you bring yours? Yes. You want and hold on, take this time.
Graham, you are my best friend, teammate in life, and my forever lunch buddy. From the beginning, I have felt that exciting magnetic pull to you. Time melts away as we walk and talk for hours. Lunch at the hospital cafeteria feels too short. Drives from San Francisco to Santa Barbara feel like a trip to the grocery store. Even being stuck in a tiny COVID hotel room for 4 days, swatting mosquitoes at 3 a.m. is bearable and, dare I say, even fun because I'm in it with you. The backdrop can change from grad school to consulting, from SF to Boston and back. The one constant is our teamwork in facing challenges and our steadfast support for each other. There are so many things that I love about you. You are so easygoing and down for anything. You joined my beach frisbee team without having ever played beach. You always have a joke to brighten my day. You turn mundane tasks into fun activities, like hosting a wine tasting to choose our wedding wine. You turn failed efforts into laughable memories, like when you wrote up a lab report on our failures of boiling water for a hot pot. You are always thinking of the next home improvement project and plotting to turn our apartment into a jungle. You make the best of what's not under our control, like the weather this weekend. You have a strong moral compass. You love and care for your family and friends so deeply. And it is an absolute joy to watch you play with your nephews. Thank you for sharing yourself and your family, your wonderful family, with me. I see your love for me in all your words and actions. You give me the nicer piece of fish for dinner. You warm my side of the bed on a cold night. You encourage me to speak up. You challenge me to do better. You have been my absolute rock, my pillar in every way through tough times in life. You remind me to focus on the journey, not the results. That mistakes are opportunities to learn. You know all of my flaws and love me for who I am. Thank you for being my partner in life. Sorry, there's more. I promise to slow down, to be present in the time we spend together, and enjoy the simple things with you, like evening walks up Sanchez Street, or picking up Arizmendi and fresh OJ on a Saturday morning. I promise to be an equal partner in building a warm and loving home together. I promise and strive to keep a silliness and lightheartedness in our relationship, even as we have increased career and life responsibilities. I promise to be spontaneous and seek out new adventures with you, whether it be exploring the nooks and crannies of the Bay Area or driving across the country from Boston to Santa Barbara. I promise to stay active and fit with you, so that we can still hike the San Ysidro trails when we are 80. I promise to be a better listener, to be patient, to roll with the punches that life throws at us. I promise to support you unconditionally through tough times, as you have done for me. I promise to never take for granted our love and friendship, and always tell you all the ways I love and appreciate you. I love you, Graham. I look forward to spending the rest of my life rowing, facing challenges, and building a home and community together with you.
Well done, no kissing yet. I'll take those.
Dear Suze, we all know the story of me trying not to date my lab mate. But it doesn't take much reflection to see no matter what I said, my actions told a completely different story. Google must have terabytes of dedicated storage for our GChat history. We spent 1,000 hours together starting a company, ditched most of QBio conference to go on what was essentially a double date in Hawaii. And since that wasn't enough, I hyped up a mediocre lemon chicken soup at the hospital cafeteria so we could schedule a standing weekly lunch. I spent so much time trying to capture your attention. It was because you captivated me with something I call Suze energy. Suze energy is a unique enthusiasm and effortless excitement that only you can bring. It overflows when you eat fried chicken, run experiments late at night in the lab, or somewhere on the road between Santa Barbara and San Francisco. Suze energy is silly and it draws you in. I was hooked years before I even realized it. But that's just one half of what makes you stand out. Just a few months after we started dating, we found ourselves living hundreds of miles apart, simultaneously experiencing some pretty extreme lows of grad school, and trying to figure out what we wanted to do next. As painful as those times were, watching you was inspiring. As always, you brought an unmatched work ethic, crystal clear values, and unshakable trust. I saw you find your voice, believe in yourself, and chart your own path, and you grinded until others could see what I saw. I don't know anyone else who can hold these two opposites together the way you do. And the more I experience it, the more I love you. After making this lifelong commitment to you, I may not have to work as hard to get your attention as I did before, but I will do my best to keep earning it every day, with jokes, support, and love. Along the way, I promise to protect you from wheat, eggs, chickpeas, and new wetsuits. I promise to be honest and open with you as a friend and equal partner. Your goals will become my goals. Whatever you decide you want for yourself will be what I want for you too. And we know that we have work left to do. I will strive to recognize and work on the parts in myself that hold us back. Our future is unwritten. We don't know what comes our way. We don't know how we'll face it, but I know that we will. Simply because I want to, and I want to do it with you. I have a feeling it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I love you so much.
Thanks for saying those words with us. So now, according to the manual I was given at the City Council, this takes us to the part called the Declaration of Intent. So please join hands, which you're doing already, and facing each other. We will start with you, Graham. Do you, Graham Schloss Heimberg, take Susan to be your wife, to love, honor, and cherish, through all life's ups and downs, sharing the days in joy and comfort from this day forward?
Absolutely.
Fine. Do you, Susan Yushan Chen, take Graham to be your husband, to love, honor, and cherish, through all of life's ups and downs, sharing the days in joy and comfort from this day forward? Great. You were supposed to say yes, I do. Okay, now we will move into the ring exchange. Graham and I will exchange rings as a symbol of the promises they just made and of their ongoing commitment to each other. So, may our handsome ring bearers come forth. There was a present, yes. I don't think I will confuse.
They won the wedding.
Well, and this, Graham and Susan, is how Paw Patrol got to be featured in your wedding. So now, Graham, please take this ring. That one, yes. The one that's for Susan, the one that's for you. And you're going to repeat after me, and then you're going to put it through Susan's finger. With this ring, I join my life with yours.
I join my life with yours.
In loving kindness, compassion, and faithfulness.
In loving kindness, compassion, and faithfulness.
I am my beloved's, and my beloved's mine.
I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine.
Now, Susan, please go ahead and place this ring on the left-hand finger and repeat after me. With this ring, I join my life with yours in loving kindness,
I join my life with yours in loving
compassion, and faithfulness.
compassion and faithfulness.
I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine.
I am my beloved.
Your love has now been strengthened by the promises you have made here today and the rings you have exchanged. Now, before the pronouncement, there's one more thing we must do today. Traditionally, Jewish weddings include the breaking of the glass. Inside this bag, there is a wine glass that the couple, in this case Graham, will break with a stomp. The shattering of the glass has multiple connotations, some happier than others, but in general it is understood as a reminder of the frailty of human relationships and of how in times of joy we must also realize that life sometimes brings sadness and sorrow. Some other people also say that it symbolizes the last time the groom will put his foot down. And we know that's not how it works in this relationship.
Oh my God.
So, what will happen now is that Graham will step on the glass, and break it. Upon shattering it, we all should feel free to yell Mazel Tov, which sort of means congratulations for the couple. You can cheer and clap all you want, but remember that we still have to do the pronouncement, so don't go anywhere just yet. So now, Graham, don't step on my hand. There you go. And feel free to step on it. Right. Susan and Graham, you have kissed 1,000 times before, but this time is different because it is your very first kiss as a husband and wife. Without further ado, and by the virtue of the authority vested in me, I declare you husband and wife. You may now kiss. Please stand, ladies and gentlemen. I present you for the first time the happy newlyweds, Susan and Graham Heimberg.
It's all the way you look at me. Oh, it's for the only one I see. Me is very, very extraordinary. It is even more than anyone that you adore can love. It's all that I can give to you. Love, it's more than just a gift. In love can make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it. Love.
Alright, now you can make as much noise as you want. Yeah. Scream all you want now. Let's go for it.
Karen and Rick.
I don't have a loud voice. Rick and I want to welcome each and every one of you to our home to celebrate this very special and wonderful celebration of Graham and Susan. Thank you for choosing to spend this cold, luckily not wet, evening with us rather than home by a cozy fire. We're so thrilled to have you all here, sharing one of the happiest moments of our life. We hope to have a chance to talk with each and every one of you and meet those of you we don't already know. Come introduce yourself if you haven't had a chance to talk. If I haven't had a chance, or we haven't had a chance to talk with you. And please let us know if there's anything you need. Graham and Suze, can a mother gloat? I am so happy for both of you to have found each other. The day I met you, I hoped you would be Graham's keeper. I was taken with you immediately. You were charming, smart, and a total delight. Later, Graham asked if we could drop you off at another party, to which Rick and I said, of course. I saw how Susan had the confidence in a way that I have never seen him look. Wrong one. I saw how Susan had the confidence to call out Graham when she thought he was wrong. And I saw Graham look at Susan with respect, and in a way I had never seen him look at anybody else. We could tell there was chemistry, not the single cell RNA sequencing stuff that you are all so used to. No, not that kind at all. The kind of chemistry that's obvious to everybody but the two who are involved. Well, we dropped her off, and the car became totally silent. And we drove through San Francisco and dropped Graham off at Nelson Rising, and as his door shut, and he was out of hearing distance, Rick and I looked at each other and at the same exact time said, she's perfect for him. What is wrong with him? Can't he see what's right in front of him? Anyway, I guess Graham did see what was right in front of him. He just kept his cool for a very long time. Susan, you were so special to have flown out for 20 hours or so to attend Brian and Rowena's wedding. The fact that you could live with us for a year and a half during COVID shows your flexibility, determination, and total love for our son. We often sat down to dinner late, the five of us. Rick, Karen, Graham, Susan, and the LEK team on her laptop. During her lengthy interview process, I even stopped a celebrity neighbor of ours on the street, hoping that would help keep them in Santa Barbara. We would spend 20 minutes looking for a movie that we could all agree upon, and then after 5 minutes, Susan would be asleep. Lunch was on the patio where we all are standing now, in the sun, with LEK hosting at least a portion of the meal. I think we were all a little nervous about how it was going to go when we met your family. But in spite of the language barrier, my Cantonese is awful. Through a lot of smiles and great food, we had a wonderful time and enjoyed touring Christmas lights, walks on the beach with Mima and Popo holding hands, and family meals together. We had an amazing heart-to-heart conversation with Popo on the couch, learning so much about her life with you and Angie's acting as a translator. I hope to get many more great times together. We've watched Susan and Graham grow and meld together, working as a team. Susan has learned so much from her two new sisters, shopping for clothes, online shopping, buying 20 pairs of shoes, hoping to keep one. When Graham has a tough decision, AKA going to college, he makes spreadsheets. So in tackling the wedding planning, Susan broke out her Excel program and began making spreadsheets. They coach each other, drafting, writing, and rewriting, and looking at diagrams and microscope slides. Susan, we're so happy to have you as part of our family. What else can a mother ask for? However, I always told Rick, if you guys ever broke up, I was going to keep you forever. So Susan, welcome to our crazy, intense, wild family. And welcome to the wild ride of the Heimbergs.
You said pretty much everything. I want to echo a couple of thoughts and sentiments that Karen said there. First of all, we're so thrilled for you to be here today, getting married in our garden. I think Graham found something so special in his life because, as Karen said, instantly when you came into his world, when we met you, Graham sort of became a different person. He sort of mellowed himself out. He seemed very comfortable, more confident. And the shift in him, you together, the combination of the two of you was so inspiring, warming, and really special to us. So right away we felt there's something really unique here. And we've seen it grow and develop over the many years here. We've known you living in the house here, your challenges, through your different job searches. All these things are just, you guys work together, as you said before, and they really sort of support each other. I know, as Karen said, we're an intense, crazy family sometimes, and a little overbearing once in a while. We get people's faces and ways and business, but it's all because we love all of our kids and our friends and our family, and we just want to be part of our world. And we love how Graham supports that and sort of takes care of you and protects you from that too. But with friends and family around here today, this is your world, your circle, and we're so proud to have you, part of our circle, your family. We welcome them into our circle as well here, and we want the best for you. We want you to be happy together, face challenges together, and as you've seen before, you guys do. You really help each other. You work through things, and you come out on the strong side of things. Like today, the weather. We thought the other day was done. Raining. Look what happened. So you guys just never gave up. You just kept persevering and kept an open mind. We love you all. We're so proud of you both, and we're excited for your next chapter of life to continue on.
Karen and Rick, thank you so much for those kind words. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Jenny up to share a few words with us. So Jenny, if you would.
Hello, I'm Susan's mother, Jenny. I want to thank Karen and Rick for holding the wedding and for welcome Susan to your family. I'm so glad to be here with you all today. My daughter Susan is such a respectful and smart girl, and she has always been so hardworking. When she was younger, I used to take her to skating practice every day at 5 a.m. She would practice for hours and then go to school. Whenever she fell while practicing her jumps, she would always get right back up. She was the same when it came to school. I have always been so proud of her. I know Susan will bring her dedicated and diligent spirit to this marriage, and I know you will do the same for her, Graham. You are a very responsible, creative, and loving person. I thank God for such a wonderful son-in-law. And I look forward to giving you all the Highland chicken and formula you would like. I am so glad you here been there to support each other, and we are so happy you are joined our family. And I look forward to being proud of both of you. Thank you.
Jenny, thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Angie up to share a few words with us. Angie, if you would.
Give me a second to open up the notes app. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Susan's sister Angela. I just wanted to start out by saying thanks to the Heimbergs for having us here and for welcoming us to their family. For me at least, it's taken a really long time to appreciate my family for who they are to me and for my sister and my sister for who she is to me. But you guys are a lot quicker on the uptake. So the thing is, when I was 12, I kind of forgot I had a sister. When you're 12 and your sister's been gone at college for 4 years, you have other priorities. Does anyone here remember what anime was airing in 2009? Because I do. So when someone asked me, do you have any siblings? I immediately said no. But don't worry, I remembered immediately. And for the next 13 years, we've been through so much together. We've created many, many more memories, and are better at being siblings, with all the arguing and fighting, and love and communication that implies. Susan has always been supportive of me through my struggles with school, work, and chronic illness, even though we're very different people. And I'm glad that Graham has been there for Susan too. I know that you guys are so good for each other. I never really considered what it would be like to have a brother, but Graham, I'm glad it's going to be you. I'm really happy that you two are my family now, Gia and Graham. May your marriage always, always be happy.
Angie, thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, our next toast comes by the way of Han. So Han, if you would.
First, I would like to take a moment to thank both Susan and Graham's family. First, for bringing up two wonderful, kind, compassionate, and loving people into the world, and we are benefiting from it, so thank you. Second, for supporting their love and friendship, and now their marriage, and for welcoming them both into your respective family. And it really felt it here today that you are all going to be one big happy family. Thank you also for bringing all of us here together into this beautiful home for this wedding and celebrating their love. Rain or shine. So my name is Han, and I went to grad school with both Susan and Graham, and I was Susan's roommate for more than 5 years. So including a period in which we actually live in the same room. So Cyrus, you're not the only one. They actually share this in common as well. So we would fall asleep talking late into the night at our bed across from the very tiny room in San Francisco. I'm really honored to be here and to share a bit about Susan with you all. She's not only been a wonderful friend to me, but also almost a big sister. Since the day that we first met 9 years ago, there's nothing but kindness and the most wonderful friend that one can ever ask for. She took me in when I didn't have a place to live and found us a wonderful apartment in which we share many memories together. So those who know Susan knows that she has kindness with no bounds. She has a really big desire to feed everyone around her, perhaps more than her cooking skill, as we've learned from Aisha. But she really did try, and Costco usually came to rescue whenever it's needed. She's also someone who gives 100% to everything. I've witnessed her, not so much the playing frisbee part, but the part where she really crashed when she got home. Susan, I would always cherish all of our memory and adventures together, all our late night conversation, and the kind of bond and conversation I can never imagine sharing with anyone else. Someone said, there's some people so wonderful in the world that you can just, they come to your life and you can never imagine what your life would have been without them. And this is you. There are so many memories to pick from to share. Those who know Susan already know she is impressively clumsy. But I'm not going to talk about that part. Did you know she's also very graceful where she has to be? One time, we were short of a model for our culture show, modeling a Vietnamese traditional dress. Susan just came to the rescue, put this dress on, in high heel, walked down the runway, and I have never seen Susan. I was so scared she was gonna trip, but no, she was wonderful. And one time we went ice skating in Yosemite together. Also, side note, it's a great place to go ice skating. Susan was teaching me how to ice skate, and then she took a break and decided to go casually while the entire crowd, with her routine, spin, loops, flip, flop, jumps, all perfectly synchronized her internal music and grace. That was really awesome to see. As her roommate, I got to witness, I have to bring up some funny anecdote. Here are just 3 of the many things, many pairs that Susan cannot tell apart. 1, spicy Szechuan pepper versus bell pepper. Once we came home to the apartment, Jess and I, our eye was tearing up from just spices in the air. Susan had made a stir fry, just dry pepper, and ate it as though it was, yeah. Number 2, mashed avocado versus wasabi. Needless to say, there was a lot of coughing that ensued. Number 3, cucumber versus zucchini. So this is where Graham came in. I've witnessed Susan cook cucumber many a time and was very confused. And then Graham pieces all together because she was bringing zucchini into lab breakfast, slicing it in and having everyone putting it on their breakfast toast. But Graham, you are so perfect for Susan. This very small example show, not only did you recognize that she's confused, but you took your patience, at the time, not yet love, maybe, but then his pieces all together and proceeded to teach her the difference between cucumber and zucchini. And many other pairs. I think the list is long. Graham, thank you for picking up the torch of keeping Susan safe from the many trickery of life. But more than that, I really admire you both in your patience toward each other, your love toward each other, and your willingness to grow and learn and be the better person, not only as partner for one another, but for your friends and family and for the world. You each make each other a better person, and we are so happy that you found each other and are now joined in marriage. As you build your home with bricks of laughter, respect, and collected memories on the foundation of your love and friendship, I'm here, please everyone raise your glass to wishing Susan and Graham a lifetime of falling in love all over again with each other.
Thank you so much, Han. Ladies and gentlemen, our next toast is a co-toast. It comes by the way of Brian and Allison.
we get started, we wanted to thank our parents for going above and beyond this day. Here's a quick rundown of the behind the scenes. Professional gutter installation on this beautiful, actually 2 tents. Plans A, B, C, and D. Enough sandbags, which are hidden luckily, for a tsunami. And hand blow drying and vacuuming the backyard. And they've done the same for us over and over again. And hopefully they will in the future.
Thanks, Mom and Dad. Graham and Susan, congratulations. This is everything we thought it could be and much, much more and different than we thought it was going to be. The perfect wedding for you both. So many of you know Graham as a scientist today, but we are going to tell you about Graham as a scientist before he was a scientist. One early memory reflective of younger Graham being an uber smart, top-notch scientist was while the 3 of us were sharing a hotel room way back when in LA, laying in bed. Graham was telling us about some really cool, cutting-edge science project he was working on. And in about 2 minutes flat, Brian and I were fast asleep. He's obviously gotten much better. It's been a while since then, so now it takes us about 5 minutes of discussing a topic before we're snoozing. When thinking about Graham, there are a few personality traits true to him since the early days. He's always been highly observant, objective, open to advice, or, as I can say, committed to rigorous peer review. No surprise, these turn out to be fundamental traits of a scientist. So let's dive into objectivity, or scientifically speaking, freedom of bias. Gee, I've been trying to get you on my side for 33 years without success. Your neutrality and ability to get along with everyone is rare, impressive, and frustrating at times. Somehow in a family full of strong opinions, you have managed to stay neutral, calm, and continue the fun every step of the way. You're patiently waiting for a feud or discussion to end, and while the ashes are still smoldering, your being levity cools us down with a well-timed joke, often aimed at Brian.
Graham is also highly observant. As the older siblings, Graham was always watching us. Even with a 7-year gap with me, you have kept up, Graham, with everything and excelled. You picked up snowboarding in half the time I did. You followed me down those Black Diamond runs. And with the same ease took up cooking, travel, investing, and more. If it wasn't for me and my own high school house party debacle, right there, Graham, how would you have so successfully covered up your own house party? For showing the way. In college, you followed in our footsteps, studying abroad, straddling alleys in my own experiences of East and West by choosing Istanbul. And later, you moved to San Francisco, where we lived nearby for many years. While you observed and tested out many things Ali and I did, you built your own way, and we couldn't be more proud.
Graham, you've excelled at peer review. You've always sought my advice every step of the way. So much so, I feel like I've given advice to at least 30% of your friends here today. So for all you out there, I hope you got the job and the salary you wanted. I feel so lucky to be at least one of your main go-tos on advice ranging from how to talk to your boss, what rugs to buy, what hair products to use, what engagement ring to get, and all of the moments in between. On a more serious note, you're 100% the third child. You often have 4 parents, and you handle it with grace. When people ask about my younger brother, I say he's the best. Sorry, B. You are caring, thoughtful, genuine, smart, and all around an amazing person. You've got the brains and the humor and all that in between. You're clever and you keep things fun and interesting. You share random factoids and celebrate our 1 billionth second on Earth, while also sharing the sensitive side and being around to lend a helping hand when things get tough. I was very clear growing up that I wanted a sister. And you gave me that for one day and one day only. Halloween years back. Gramina. That being said, I'll choose you as my brother each and every day. And you've most recently become an incredible uncle who my kids look up to in both height and admiration. It has been so fun watching you bond with them, and I know how lucky I am and they are to have an Uncle G like you. Susan, while Gramina lasted less than a day, I have you as a sister-in-law for a lifetime. I'm over the moon. You're smart, beautiful, kind, ambitious, and true to who you are. I've loved having the opportunity to be part of your most recent journeys in life and am constantly amazed by what you continue to accomplish.
Graham, from the moment you were born and I visited you in the hospital, I felt so proud to be your big brother. What I didn't know then, as a 7-year-old, holding a red-haired, blue-eyed baby, was how much we would share in common, even including hair loss. From the start, and even with our age gap, we loved being around each other, and I thought you were so special. I took you to my first grade class for show and tell. I asked Mom and Dad if we could share a room, and then we did, until, well, the 3 of us shared a room, which was not as fun. But then we finally moved into this beautiful home. Being the first child, the big brother, was not easy, and I got into my fair share of trouble. However, rarely, if ever, was that because of you. If it was my duty to gracefully and graciously show you the way, I'm not sure that happened. In truth, you followed your own footsteps. With an easygoing nature, you brought humor and levity in combination with grit, determination, and sheer hard work. I'm so proud of the funny, smart, caring, and accomplished gentleman we see today. And the greatest reflection of this is your loving and enriching relationship with Susan. Susan, you and I first met early on in your relationship, or maybe I should say partnership with Graham. He connected us for a meeting to review your bio startup, Waypoint, that the 2 of you had been developing together. And in fact, we met several times over lunch to discuss it. My clearest memories and impressions were 1, what incredible opportunities and potential lay ahead of you. May have been a little jealous. And 2, what a great compliment you were to Graham. As an early VC myself, I wish I could have only seen around the corner and known that today we would be here, celebrating the pinnacle milestone in your partnership, this marriage. Congratulations.
So lastly, when Graham asked me to give a toast, I saw it as a transition from unsolicited advice to actually giving me free rein to dole out advice. So I'm honored. I feel like I've made it, and here I go. A few tips to a successful marriage. Celebrate your differences. G, don't push Susan too much. Let her be her. And if you're judging me right now for being a hypocrite, please stop. Wes likes it. Prioritize each other. Life is busy and life gets crazy. Make time for each other and have fun. The small moments are just as important as the big ones. Enjoy them all equally. Find balance between work and play. We both know you're very career-driven. Whether it's bananagrams or code words, make time to play and have fun together. You're both incredibly lucky. You are smart, successful, and gifted individuals. Be grateful for what you have and celebrate it each and every day. Raise a glass to Graham and Susan.
I'm not a scheduled speaker, so I'm crashing this right now, but I am the eldest Heinberg child, and I am representing my parents here tonight, and I'm the original Susan Heinberg, so I am happily welcoming the new Susan Heinberg to the family, and mwah, for you, on behalf of all of us. Welcome.
Brian, Allison, and Susan, thank you so much for those words. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Wes.
I also was not a scheduled speaker. I wasn't even invited. So, can't wait to meet you guys. Here I go. My name is Wesley McCrae, and I'm Allison's husband. And, sorry, Allison, tell me.
Can't hear you.
Wonderwall, should I start with Wonderwall?
Yeah.
Guessing the tallest timer except for me. Anyways, I would like to start by thanking Rick and Karen. You guys are getting so good at this. I'll tell you what, you're the best. And Graham and Suze, the McCrae family owes you a huge debt of gratitude. You have finally let my grandmother rest in peace by bringing 2 doctors to the family. Thank you. So being the brother-in-law, the first in-law, I don't know if all of you know about the Heimbergs, but one thing about them is that they have opinions and they're not afraid to use them. Now, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and being from Atlanta, Georgia, I was raised in a way in which we certainly had opinions, but we didn't use them. We certainly didn't talk about them. The most we were ever going to get out of us was a smile, a nod, that could mean agreement unless it didn't. So being a part of this family made me quite nervous. The Heimbergs will not sit down to a meal unless politics or religion are on the menu. So it took me a while to warm up and to figure out what my voice was. But Graham was always the big brother in this relationship for me. I didn't know exactly how to stand up for myself or perhaps disagree with Allison, who has always been the benevolent-ish, at times, dictator in this family. When I did, Graham was always the one to make sure that my perspective was known, was heard, or at least piped up a little bit. And through that time, Graham, while Allison and Brian just spoke a little bit about how he is the young one, that may be true, but for me, he has been a big brother, and his voice, while not always the loudest, is one that everyone listens to in this family. And it's a wise one, and it's one that, whether it's with a quick joke, or whether it's one to finally bring a little bit of cut the ice to this relationship and this family, he's the one to do it. And he's always made me feel the most welcome in this family so quickly. So he's wise beyond his years. But I have known him for the greater part of 10 years, and during those 10 years, I feel like he's been in college pretty much during all of it. Being from Atlanta, Georgia, the kids that went to school for 5 or 6 years definitely weren't trying to win awards. And Graham goes for 10 years and all of a sudden is hailed as a hero. But as he grew and matured into what he thought or wanted his career to be, he was faced with quite a challenge, and that challenge was to stay in the academic world or to move into the more commercial world. And it was something that was, it was hard for me to understand because I never thought of the 2 options. But Graham, being Graham, his analysis was top-notch. I mean, for every Excel sheet he had, the pros and cons were very diverse. Susan was next to him that had a PowerPoint presentation that could tell you to go this way or that way. But Graham he would reach out to people that were either Allison or Brian or myself or people in different realms, different worlds, different spaces that had made the move from academic life to commercial life to academic life. And even though the answer was never clear which way to go, he attacked it with such curiosity and always felt like whatever decision he made, he was going to make it with clarity in an otherwise unclear situation. And during that entire time, we had some very, very intense conversations that went back and forth way above my pay grade. Susan was always there with a bit of humor and a bit of playfulness. And she made very, very serious things seem much, much less so. And she brings out a side of Graham that I hadn't seen before, which was when the stakes are super, super high, life is still wonderful and it's a game to be played. And you 2 have always played it together. So as you were thinking about going down this path of determined where you would be living, what you would be doing, You both did it with a smile on your face, and you knew that whatever decision was made, it would be the right decision, and you'd be doing it together. And so before Graham and Susan became Mr. and Mrs. Heimberg, they were known as one cohesive unit in our family as Uncle G and Suze. Uncle G has been all things physically impressive to my son Porter. Everything Porter will look at me and say, "Daddy, you're really, really tall." But Uncle G is super duper tall. He's even still growing, which is true. Porter would look at me and say, "Daddy, I like the way you push me on a swing. But Uncle G can push me much higher than I can." And I'm pretty sure I touched space last night. Also true. I don't know if you all heard during the ceremony, it was a very sweet time. Juan was doing a great job, and there was a gigantic elephant nose blow. That was my son Porter, and that's called an Uncle G blow. He learned it from Uncle G, and he can blow his nose louder than anyone else. But Uncle G. And Porter will come up to me and say, "Daddy, can we go see Uncle G and Suze right now?" And I'll look at him and say, "Hey buddy, they're in San Francisco." And he'll look at me and say, "That's okay, Daddy. Can we just go play for a few minutes before bath time?" It is one of the most wonderful, rewarding things to see our kids look up to the both of you as a unit, that you are Uncle G and Suze. It's not Uncle G and Suze, it's Uncle G and Suze. It is something that's quite special. And as you all go forward, the decisions you all make will only get harder. They'll only get more and more tough. Graham, keep that Excel sheet steady. Suze, PowerPoint, it never goes out of style. Keep it going. You guys go back and forth. But the one thing I'd ask for, and Allison touched on it tonight, is to stay playful. Know that life is a game that the two of you are playing together, and you will always win when you're together. So, to you all, thank you. Cheers. Love it.
Wes, thank you so much for those kind words. And ladies and gentlemen, I do have one more set of speakers, and our next set of speakers, none other than our bride and groom, Susan and Graham.
Hey everyone. Well, thank you so much for being here. Santa Barbara's not the easiest place to get to. The rain doesn't help. It usually is worth it with lots of great hikes and beach walks at sunset. But for now, you'll just have to take our word for it. Just thank you so much. It is really a treat to be surrounded by our closest family and friends. We are so lucky to have each of you in our lives and share this day with you. This house and space is special to us. As you've all heard, Graham grew up here and we lived here during the pandemic. Living in this house, I've gotten to really know and love the Heimbergs. I've come to learn the family hiking routes. I got a lesson or two from the master herself, Karen, on how to host a party. Look around! Thank you so much. And I even got a compliment from Rick on making the best batch of Caesar salad dressing. It's been so much fun to take part in the Heimberg family traditions. The full stack Heimburger, the Heimberg birthday cakes, and picking up unconventional souvenirs and doing a Heimberg packing job on them to get them home. With you all, there's such a deep sense of love and family and community, and it just permeates every interaction that we have. Rick and Karen, you both are so special. When you sit at the Heimberg table for a year and a half for dinner, you get a real close-up view. They are the most loving parents. They support each other and are a team in every endeavor. Despite being incredibly impressive people, Rick and Karen are so down to earth and also down for anything. They are so hardworking, thoughtful, generous, and caring. When Karen and Rick does something, there's no halfway. There's always a plan. Actually, there are multiple plans. A, B, C, Z. And there's always a way no matter the challenge. Can the tent be bigger? Yes. There's such a long list of things that I really admire and love about Rick and Karen. And I don't have time to say it all, but I just really, really thank you for everything. Thank you for your support of me and us over all these years, and just being the best role model anyone can ask for. Brian and Allison, I can't thank you enough for all the email editing and job advice you've given me. Rowena, you are so kind, and your eye for fashion is unparalleled. Being outfitted by Rowena is such a treat. Your wardrobe advice and literal wardrobe really helped me out this weekend. Wes, you are so understated and has such a great sense of humor. And you're also so kind. Thank you also for teaching me what EV over EBITDA is. Thank you all, Rick, Karen, Brian, Rowena, Allison, and Wes. Thank you all for being so available, so present, and supporting me and us and sharing your lives with us. I feel so incredibly lucky to be in addition to this truly amazing family.
Over the past couple of years, I've also gotten to know the Chen family. And it's been a real treat. Whenever I go to Fremont, Jenny goes the extra mile to make me feel welcome. For example, no matter what the dinner is, there's always a whole thing of Hainan chicken on the table, which just happens to be right in front of me. Joining the family felt official because last time when we visited, I was given my own pair of house slippers. While Susan is joking and laughing with Popo in Chinese, Angie's is always there bringing me along and translating for what's going on. And when it's time to leave, Jenny loads us up with some exciting fruit. People who complain about my obsession with golden kiwis and pomelos, it's actually because Jenny introduced me to them. She has really changed my life, and I'm not just talking about pomelos anymore. I feel so lucky to be entering this tight-knit family. And putting on a wedding, transitioning to some thank yous, putting on a wedding is no simple task. And we have a lot of people to thank for that. Brian's early input and vision, and last-minute rain mitigation strategies. And Rowena's amazing ketubah and style consultations. Allison led a hyper-speed dress hunt, touring shops all around the Bay Area in one weekend, leaving Wes behind for what I heard was a very smooth weekend with the boys.
Still work out right.
Angie's organized the Fremont family and got them all down here, and helped out today with the tea ceremony, and has been amazingly helpful throughout this whole process. And a huge thank you to my parents, Rick and Karen, for hosting, opening up the house, to all of our friends and family, working with a lot of last-minute changes. I'm going the extra mile to really, I think, take this to the next level. And it's one thing to just express gratitude and say thank you, but when you're on the receiving end, it feels, really special to have these people come and put their souls into this event for us. And so, thank you for the work, but also just thank you for this feeling of bringing it in for us, and with all this time, effort, and creativity, and problem solving, and vacuuming water.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you everyone for coming.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers for our bride and groom. Cheers. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, our Rincon staff has prepared some amazing food stations for everybody to enjoy. So please do mingle about, check out those stations, and enjoy our bride and groom. Thank you.